Fantastic, 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 fantastic.
What's up, Cave Dwellers? I'm Gabe.
I'm Darren.
I'm Duke Nukem.
And today, we're talking about Dune.
That's right, we're doing the Dune movie review. But first, let's thank our sponsor. That is rpghiring.com. If you're looking for a new career, they're building people, changing lives. So today, folks, we are talking about Villeneuve's Dune movie, the new one that just came out. We gave it a little bit of time. Hopefully, people have watched it by now. It's going to be a solid series. There are spoilers ahead, so if you haven't seen it, make sure that you click away now.
And this review is a long time coming.
Yeah, they definitely. We did the other movie review. Gabe and I went and watched the 84 movie.
And, read some lore and a bunch of other stuff, like, as soon as that trailer dropped.
Yeah, well, the trailer dropped. We said, all right, let's do a movie review on the other one and a review of the trailer. And we did our lore and everything. We looked into it probably no more than someone would if they read the first book, just because we roll that way. We looked into stuff way too much. But they postponed the movie like a full year after that happened. So
all around me are familiar.
Yeah, they postponed the movie. So then the movie finally came out, and we just said, all right, we have to do the movie review now. But we decided to give it a couple weeks so everybody could go watch it if you haven't already. I believe it is on HBO Max.
It's on HBO Max for a limited amount of time.
So it's not there for much longer. Or go to the movie theater, support your local movie theater.
I think it's like another day. It's the 20th, I think.
Yeah, we definitely like to support our our local theater. So
they're dying.
With that being said, let's get on with the review. I guess we'll start off with some pros, what we liked about the movie. And all I can say is visually and graphically, it was amazing.
Stunning.
I think it will be a movie that is one for like history. Some movies like Star Wars, for example, back in the day, there was nothing like it. And even movies all the way through like early 90s were not that great. So like visually, Star Wars, even though it's kind of cheesy now because there was no CGI back then, visually, that is a amazing movie. This one is going to be the same. I think you're looking at it, there wasn't any like just cheesy graphics. It just the view of the planets, the ships, the space views, the desert, everything just looked right. I mean, it was fantastic, and I'm using that word strongly here.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah, just like your shirt.
The sound, man, that movie, the music, Hans Zimmer did a amazing job. The sound went right along with it. The crazy, just the riffs, the sound effects in the background. It all just went together.
Absolutely.
The old movie had like Toto. I love Toto. Don't get me wrong, but had like Toto as like the music soundtrack, and it was very 80s, and it didn't fit the.
It's a product of its time.
It absolutely, but it didn't fit the like year 10,000.
Yeah,
vibes.
They'll be listening to Toto in the year 10,000.
Dude, I'm just happy it's not Minecraft shields anymore.
Absolutely, but story. I think the story was great. I think they did a fantastic job at telling the story. There was some things that they probably left out, but there's also some things that will be in part 2 because this is a part 1 movie. We'll probably do a part 2 or a total or a whole thing. I don't know. And actors, man, they had a solid lineup of actors in the movie. You gonna say something, Brandon?
Yes, the actors. They
You were pointing, so I didn't know. You
I
were
was,
like,
I was pointing. Yeah.
you're pointing. I didn't know if you're
Yeah,
trying to get my
yeah.
attention or what.
Yeah. The actors. You know, they conveyed emotion without talking about it because you have to. Because in the books and in the '80s movie, there's a lot of internal monologue,
The whispering.
the whispering. So, and we'll get to that later. But they would convey stuff with their faces, whether they were being stoic or they were being intense. They all stepped up their games
They did a very good job.
and did a good job.
Very good job.
Yeah.
You know, the actor lineup consists of Timothy Chalamet, which isn't. I'm not going to say a new actor. He's been acting for several years now, but he's never been anything really huge.
Yeah.
And I don't know that he's ever had any like really serious roles. I think this
He
is
has.
going to be. He has.
Yeah, he was in that movie with the guy that played in Twilight. What's that guy's name? And it was like a medieval movie. It was a serious movie, and he was good in it.
Is it a new movie?
It came out like 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was on Netflix.
I don't remember what movie
It was really good.
but
Okay.
apparently he was in one, and the reason a lot of people didn't like him for that movie was because he was like a douchebag in that movie. So
I think this is going to be his real big breakout role.
Yeah,
I really do for big movies. You know, like I don't know what Tom Holland's was, but you know, Tom Holland is now like he's huge because he was Spider-Man. Well, I think this may be his big one because like in the next couple of years he's going to play Wonka. He's a young Willy Wonka. Yeah, he's going to play a young Willy Wonka whenever he's getting his chocolate business up and going. Not to mention, you know, Dune Part 2 and some other things. I think he's going to be big from now on. You know, Rebecca Ferguson, she's been in a ton of things. Oscar Isaac.
never heard of her.
Have you really not? Or are you just saying that?
Never heard of her.
Okay. Well, you
All right,
probably
then.
never heard of her name, but she's been in a lot of movies. I know you've seen some of them. Oscar Isaac, he's been in a lot of stuff. You know, Poe Dameron from Star Wars. He's been in like all the, is it Narcos or what was the other one? Huge series and show.
Well, he's going to be Moon Knight.
Moon Knight, but he's
Mark Spector.
absolutely.
but he's been in a lot of things. He played his part amazing as Paul's dad, Atreides. What's his name? I forgot. What's his name?
I have
No,
idea.
you can get it. You can do it.
Yeah, I'll come back to it.
Jason Momoa did great.
Absolutely, as Duncan.
Yeah, Duncan.
Idaho.
Duncan Walpo.
Duncan, Idaho.
Duncan
You can't
Walpo.
forget that name.
No, you can't forget Duncan Idaho. What
I
is
will-
his dad's name in the movie? Paul's dad. Sir something.
You got it.
Okay, Brandon. All right, you know what?
I will always say Duncan Walpo.
Stellan Skarsgård, he's been in a ton of things. The cast is just huge for this movie. For a movie that didn't have a ton of dialogue, for a movie that didn't have a lot of story, it was just kind of a... I'm not saying a lot of story. For a movie that didn't have a... Like, the 84 movie was about the same length as this movie, but it had so much stuff in it that you didn't quite follow. But for a movie that...
It had less of Arrakis and more of their homeworld.
Right, but for this movie, there was a ton of actors, and I'm looking forward to the next movie, who they all have. You know, Josh Brolin, Thanos, Javier Bardem. I didn't even know that was him until halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw him, he spoke, and I was saying, I know that guy. Guy. Man, I've never seen him with a beard before. Have you ever seen Javier Bardem with a beard?
I think so.
No, I mean, he plays in everything. He's a super good actor. Dave Bautista, of all people, and then Zendaya. I mean, that cast was crazy. Crazy cast for a movie that, you know, a lot of people don't even know about Dune. We know it's a novel. You know, but the first movie didn't have a huge cast. It had, you know, Captain Picard, but really about it. I mean, was there a lot of other good actors in that one?
Yeah, there's a ton of good actors in that.
Really? Of the 80s?
Yeah, from the 80s and 90s, yeah.
Well, Sting's not an actor. Was his name Sting? No,
He
Sting.
did some more movies after that.
Did he?
He was actually, when a lot of people were reviewing the 80s movie, they thought he was the bright spot of the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
All right.
my bad. Maybe I just didn't like it. So let's jump right into some cons about the new movie. Brandon, I'll let you start this one off since this is your biggest complaint.
Cons. So my biggest thing is, and you see, I'm also a product of my time. So I grew up with the 80s movie. And yes, it is bad, but it's also one of those, you know, you love it because it is bad. But there's some pieces of it that are just stick in your head. Because that guy, David Finch, is a good director, and he doesn't like the movie, but he did some good
He
things
doesn't
in
like
it.
the movie?
He does not like the movie.
Okay.
As soon as he made it, he didn't like it. So I miss the whispering, and I'm going to be in the minority on this because, like in the movie and in the books, you're missing a lot of the inner monologue of what they're thinking, and I think it adds a lot to the story when you know what they're thinking and what their thought processes are. So, like in the 80s movie, you get a lot of staring off into space, but you hear what they're thinking.
They do
in
do
this
that.
movie, you get a lot of staring off into space, but you don't hear anything they're thinking. And I think there's some nuances that you miss out when you don't hear what they're thinking. Does that make sense?
No, I get it.
That's my thing.
No, I get it 100%. And
You're right.
I wish that there was another way to do that, but man, the whispering.
Yeah, no.
Number one, when you're watching a movie, and I think everybody has this problem, you crank it way up just so you can hear what you're like. What are they saying? What are they saying? And then it's like, and you're like,
Yeah.
got to turn it back down. But the old movie, it did that so much, you couldn't keep up with the whispering.
You're just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down.
And it took me 3/4 of the way through the movie to realize that the whispering was them thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I get it, and I don't have a problem with it if I were to go back and watch the old movie, but I don't think it fits the new movie story. I don't think it fits the... I do think we're missing out on a lot of, like, thought and dialogue of the movie, but I'm okay with it. It's really good. Like Brandon said, the staring off into space with the facial expressions really played out. And I think that they skipped a lot of that staring off into space and only added just a little bit of it, enough, but not enough that you're like, where's the whispering?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think they added some more stuff into it where they didn't have to do the whispering. Go ahead.
There was at some points like that were just very separate from the book. Like the mother, she was what are they called?
Bene Gesserits.
Yeah, they weren't supposed to show emotion, and she did. And I know that's just a big thing that people have a problem with for some reason.
But she's a mom. Too.
You're right, yeah. Which I get why they did that, just to make the people that haven't watched Dune understand it. And then there's like or haven't read Dune understand it. So like the fight scene, it was meant to happen in a cave, actually. And
What
the
fight
setting,
scene?
the battle for the duel between Paul and the Sandman. I don't, yeah. That's supposed to happen in a cave, and the setting is like very well described in the book, and
Like it was in the 84 movie.
Yeah, and then they just throw it out in the open in a random spot, like very different.
It was in some rocks.
Yeah, but it wasn't a cave, and it upset some people, I know, and it's just, I mean,
Who
I
gets
just
mad about a cave versus in the rocks?
That's not a big deal.
It's
That's not a
not.
big deal.
It's not. But I mean, there was setting changes, is what I mean.
Also, Oscar Isaac's dad, or his name, Paul Atreides' name is Leto.
All right.
See, I told you had it.
And then there was one character, and it's the chick that gets eaten by the sandworm.
Okay.
She was not supposed to die yet, because she appears later on, but she died. So it's kind of weird.
Maybe she didn't. There are some things that are left questionable because the next movie, it literally stopped. The movie just absolutely stopped. I think the biggest issue to me is that it wasn't 5 hours longer.
They pulled a Desolation of Smaug.
I promise you, I would have just paused it, went and ate some dinner, and then came back and watched the rest of it, man.
Listen to me, Hollywood. If you're watching this movie, if you're doing something like Dune that has a lot of fanfare and a lot of people who love it, and it's going to have to be 5 hours long, listen to me. I'm going to look in the camera here. Listen. When you do these movies, just do it all at once. This is what you do. You do what the old school movies used to do that were really long. You have intermission. So you have intermission. They did this back in the day. Everybody gets out of the theater. They walk around. They go use the bathroom. They get some more snacks. They get some more tendies and some nuggies. And then you come back and you finish the movie up.
But then they can't milk it.
Film it all at once. You know what? I think he just did it like this because he didn't know if he was going to be able to do it. But before he even made the movie, he's like, I'm doing it in 2 parts. Like the original title was Dune Part 1. So, I mean, like, I don't know why they didn't just film it all at once and in separating the filming out.
Lord of the Rings style. Just film it all
All
at once.
3 of them at like one time.
Just keep going.
Just keep going. I mean, they waited, a year just for editing, but they filmed them all at one time. That's fine. You do it like this.
They take a break, go do their press tour, and then go back to it.
I hope that the next one. I'm not gonna say I hope it's longer, but I hope it's just as long, or 3 hours is fine.
We want it to feel the length.
Man, I hope the next one is just as good. But I also hope that he comes back and does the next movie, because there was never our next book, because there was never a movie for Dune Messiah, which takes place like 13 years later or whatever, and is about them fighting the Empire. Right?
Yeah, we need all that too.
You need that.
all that, yeah.
You need that, because the 84 movie kind of left off and sent them running with their tails tucked. We don't know what happens unless you read the book. And I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to read a book, because I'm not that cool. So we kind of did the cons and the comparison of the old movie together. But we'll go ahead and go over a little bit of the old movie versus this one. I'll start off by saying the old movie just sucked.
I mean,
Sting was in it. We don't like
Brandon. Okay, you. I mean,
kidding.
What do you think, Brandon? You go on comparison.
like I said before, it's a product of its time. They didn't have.
They should have waited.
They didn't have the resources and technologies to make a movie like they could today.
Change my mind. Hear me out. Hear me out. Star Wars in 77 looked better visually than the 84 Dune movie.
Pieces of it.
Correct. No, all.
Listen, the Baron Harkonnen, when in the old movie, I don't mind the overacting and him like spinning around in the air and like.
Oh, I thought that was great.
I thought that was great. There's iconic moments in the movie. Now the movie as a whole sucks.
I will tell you what the worst part I think of the old movie, and I'm glad that they didn't. So far, the shout guns or the voice weapons. He tells that guy. He comes up and he's like, "This is your hardest stone, correct?" And he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Punch it, slap it, hit it with your sword, kick it," and then he's like, "Rah!" and blows the rock up with his voice gun thing, like his.
He says his name. He's like, "My name is a killing word."
Yeah, I mean, like that's so stupid to me. Like that was the worst part about it.
Body.
Yeah. The goofy graphics obviously were bad, and then like Gabe said, the Minecraft block armor, that wasn't it, Chief. The new one is great, by the way.
Oh yeah,
great. And obviously, the worst part probably about the difference of the two was there was no Captain Picard. How? Why? Should just be a thing now that Dune includes Professor Xavier, whatever his name, Professor X. What is his last name? Xavier what? Or is it something Xavier?
Just say his real name. Just say his real. What is the actor's name?
Patrick Stewart.
There you go.
I knew what it was in the first place.
Yeah, you had it.
I already had. I knew
you
I
had it. Yeah.
I knew it, but I did not have Leto.
You had it.
Yeah. Anyways, so a couple things I hope they add to the movie, a part 3 and part 4 with Dune Messiah. Want to know the truth? And Brandon, what is the most important thing that we hope they add to the movie?
Father, the sleeper has awakened.
Father! He's like in the sand with his knees, or his knees in the sand. And he's got his hands up. He's like, the sleeper has awakened. Yeah, I hope they do that.
See, you're not going to hear the whispering of him going, the sleeper must awaken.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to hear that either.
No.
I mean, you're not going to get that.
What if they just threw that one whisper in there? Just the one.
Do it.
A little bit of monologuing while he stares at the moon.
Yeah.
With his mom when they're sitting out in the desert.
Yeah.
He monologues for
it just says
like 5 or 10 minutes.
He's talking to his mom and goes, the sleeper must awaken.
No, but he's like monologues.
Yeah.
And stares at the moon and does that. That's kind of weird.
Dude really thinks he's the main character.
Anyways, that was a bit of our movie review. Again, it is a fantastic movie. I mean, that's my word. I know people make fun of me on here for saying it, but man, it is solid. It is now part of my favorite movies. It's in my top 10, 15. It's good. It is so good visually, and it gives you feel like you're involved with it, especially if you watch it on a bigger TV or a theater. You just feel like you're there. It's so cool. and gives you that really awesome space vibe.
Phenomenal.
Fantastic, amazing,
Gorgeous.
It was gorgeous, Gabe. That's a good term for it. Yeah,
Impetuous.
I don't know that one. Is what? What?
Just keep going.
This
Well,
movie
anyway.
left me flabbergasted.
Ooh, that's a good one, Gabe. That's a good one. Anyways, so again, that's it for that. Let's go on to the card giveaway because honestly, I was about to end the video and I totally forgot about it. So we are giving away.
That's where they're here.
Oh man.
No giveaway for you.
Anyways,
But wait, there's more.
That's right, Billy Mays. So we're about to run the giveaway for Andrew Fry. These were last week's Artist Spotlight. We had a ton of these left. I don't know why, but we're giving away 5 of them, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'm sure Chris will throw it in the video where I said it from last week, but I believe it's 5. Giving away 5 of these. Anyways,
Well, I said that wouldn't go.
yeah, we're going to give away those now, so run it. And congratulations to the winners. We love you.
Fluctuations.
Congratulations to the winners.
Try not to gambit charge them.
Try not to what?
Gambit charge them.
Yeah. And now on to this week's Artist Spotlight. Which is none other than our friend, our good buddy Bennie Thompson, who
Bennie.
is amazing at doing his art because the way he does it, it's almost like it's negative. The way he does these, and you look at it like this Zod, for example. I know I just took that out of place. I shouldn't have, but I've got it right here. This Zod.
Stupid.
You look at it and you're like, man, I can like honestly almost see color in it. There is no color in those at all. But you look at it and you can see the color.
Yeah.
It's crazy the way he does it, and I don't know. He was explaining it to me one day, but that's over my head. So I was just like, yeah, sure. Well then, what do you have to say about it, Brandon?
You need to enter.
Do it.
You do need to enter, and
Do it.
for those that are new, how you enter to win one of these cards. We've been explaining it a lot lately because we want people to make sure that they are entered. To enter, all you have to do is subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, and click the first link in the description. Fill it out. Super simple. And we'll mail you a card if you win, and you'll announce it on next week's video or in the future, any video that we will announce it on.
If you
Free.
will obtain
For
them.
absolutely free.
Free.
Free. And all you have to do
Free.
is just sign up. We'll cover the cost of shipping and everything, no matter where you are in the world. I ship stuff. We have winners in the Czech. We have winners in England. We've had winners in Australia.
I'm pretty sure
What about
somebody from the UK said, "Do you want me to pay you for the shipping?"
They did the other day. Someone asked us if they wanted us to pay whatever. They wanted to know if we wanted reimbursed for the shipping. No, we don't. We got you.
Niet.
We got you, fam. So, hopefully you enjoy Benny's cards here. We're going to weigh all 5 of them. They are all gone. These are the last of his cards for Series 2. And, yeah, that's it for the giveaway stuff. So make sure you entered to win that. Any last last little bits here, besides thanking our sponsor again, rpghiring.com. Make sure you check them out. What lovely people. Gabe, any last thoughts on Dune?
No, goodbye.
I certainly can't contain my excitement for the next one, so I think with that being said, I'm going to act like a worm and wiggle out of this room now.
Go.
Brandon, why are you so blank-faced all the time? Brandon's just like...